Hello everyone and welcome back to the archive. Today we will discuss an alter in the timeline. That is, what if Gunmar won? Or more specifically, what if Gunmar turned Jim to his side? During the final battle of the show, Gunmar and Jim faced off in an epic battle to decide the fate of this world. In this fight, Gunmar would get the upper hand and pin Jim to the ground and begin to use his Decimar blade to turn Jim to his side. This mind control would inevitably be thrown off, and the killing blow to end the millennia-long war would strike. So, what if this didn't happen? What if Jim was turned in those few moments to seal the fate of his friends and this world? If you enjoy this content, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Check out our other channel, and also this is the first of many commented what ifs, all the way back from my first video from a couple months ago from this person. Yes, I'm sorry it took me so long, but I've finally gotten around to doing it, and now let's get into it. Gunmar regains his strength and pushes Jim back, forcing him to the ground, and then taking advantage of this time, he uses his blade to begin enslaving Jim to his will. In canon, Jim was able to throw it off and regain his strength and land the final blow. This, however, does not make a lot of sense, as the helmet prevents Jim from getting controlled, and yet he isn't wearing it in the battle. Perhaps his new trollish abilities grant him protection, I don't know. But let's set the scene. Gunmar has Jim pinned down and at his mercy. He places his foot on his chest to prevent his escape. Then he brings the Decimar blade down towards Jim to become his first human slave. Jim tries to grab the sword and throw it away like in canon. Only this time, Gunmar was quicker and knocked Jim out as he grabbed the sword. And in a matter of moments, Jim arose again with bright yellow eyes, signifying his fall to darkness. Gunmar lets out a horrifying laugh as he orders Jim to hunt down his remaining allies and kill them before they get the chance to escape. Complying, Jim finds every last one of his former comrades and slays them. The last being Claire, begging Jim to stop before the sound of a blade going through flesh could be heard, and a dull thud as Claire's body fell to the ground, lifeless. Jim returns to Gunmar and kneels before him. Drenched in blood, his Gum horde roars in triumph as the last of Blinky's united army runs back into the crevices of this world. A shrill laugh could then be heard in the distance.
Well done, Gunnar, well done. Now it is time to end the puppet of learning,
she said.
No, the boy is my slave, and the Trollhunters shall serve my ends and be a useful tool for the both of us, my lady. Besides, It is far more torturous to have the boy as my executioner than to simply finish him off.
Thus, Jim would become Gunmar's new hand of vengeance to send out and hunt any survivors of the battle. Merlin himself would be found and killed by the Gumgums, and the people of Arcadia would be served to the victors as their feast. From here, Arcadia would transform into the main stronghold for Gunmar, and his forces sent out to scout and discover key bases for destruction. This would bring the nearby government facility Area 49B into their path. Colonel Krubitz would have known of the troll threat and begin mobilizing her troops to form a front line against these stone monstrosities. For weeks, Krubitz and her forces would hold the front line, but it quickly became apparent that this threat was not so easy to overcome, and if something didn't change soon, she and her forces would be overrun and devoured by this menace. And then, from out of the blue, the aliens that had escaped her came to offer a deal. Aja, Krell, Zadra, and Stuart appeared to help her fend off Gunmar and his horde. Three Below is mostly unaffected by Trollhunters, with Aja, Krell, and Zadra making an escape during the carnage and remaining on the run. Only this time, there would be no saving of Varvatos or plan to teleport them home, at least for now. The Arcadians offered their services to Krubitz to upgrade and strategize with the humans. The Arcadians held the information to create advanced tech, and the humans provided the resources and manpower needed to create their weapons. So the humans and aliens would work together to fend off the Gumgums and their continuous lightning attacks. But due to the eternal night still in effect, it allowed Gunmar's forces free rein to attack whenever they wanted, without fear of the sunlight. Days and nights would go by as reports of a skinny and fast creature teared through their squads, beginning to demoralize the defenders, and with seemingly an infinite wave of enemies on the attack, this alliance would need a greater amount of soldiers if they wanted a sure victory. Despite this, the help the Arcadians gave would be priceless. Zadra's countless years of battle gave her a good insight to help strategize with Krubitz and her commanders. Krell's unmatched genius was the backbone to their operations, creating multiple hybrid weapons between both Acaridian and human technology to create works of destruction. Aja was a frontline trooper and used what she had been taught to lead the troops to multiple victories against Gunmar, allowing her to perfect her fighting style against a proper enemy. Even though Krubitz planned to betray them at some point, she found that these creatures were not unlike herself, and saw the tremendous impact they left on her people, bringing out the best in them, all in this violent time. On Gunmar's side, he was perfectly content to whittle down the humans for as long as possible, and thanks to the magic of Morgana, they would be able to create legions of Gumgums and Golem soldiers to rush the enemy. However, once the humans started receiving new upgraded guns, tanks, and armor, It began to frustrate Gunmar. One moment he would win a battle, only for the next time the Alliance would win another. This back and forth play only built up his frustration, and compounded when the traitor Arg and the remnants of the good trolls still were nowhere to be found. The final straw was when the Alliance began to push his forces back to the fortress of Arcadia, trapping him within his very walls. He sat alone in his throne room, reports coming in on the mounting strength of the humans as the sudden realization of his crusade coming to an end started to weigh on him. And just like the humans, Gunmar would similarly be approached.
"O great and mighty king,"
a voice said,
"your enemies have grown strong in their resolve. But do not fret. There are some that would see your cause come to fruition." "Who are you? Show yourself,"
Gunmar boomed. Then from the shadows, the form of a creature began to form. It was sleek, skinny, and he could see in his eyes that there was a cold deviousness to him.
"My master has a proposition for you."
I hope you enjoyed this video. Be ready for part 2, and may the glory of Merlin be with you.